Hey guys, it's Hans Hobbies, and this is a review of the Flysky FS GT5. This is a 6-channel, 2.4 gigahertz transmitter, and it also has a multi-model memory as well as a lot of other features. This is the first ever brand new radio I've ever bought, and it's actually a pretty decent price. You'll find these from around 60 to 100 bucks, and even at the most expensive at 100 bucks, for the amount of features that it has, on paper anyway, it does seem like it's a pretty good deal. But let's tear into this package and see what we get. The box looks very nice. It looks very professional. Flysky is very well loved by a lot of RC companies and hobbyists for their low price and great value, actually. They're kind of like the hobby wing of the transmitter world. Opening up the box, nice box here. Instruction manual. If you open it this way, it will be in Chinese. But then if you open it this way, it is in English. And it gives you all the English instructions very well. The translation is very good. It's not like some of those poorly translated instruction manuals. You get an extra little grip rubber piece right here. Taking this foam piece off. First we have the receiver that's included. We get a bind plug and this really nice 6-channel receiver. It's actually really small. And actually compare this to the Flysky 3-channel receiver, which I'm actually surprised it's so small. And the nice thing is these receivers are also pretty cheap. I believe you can get one of these for like 20 bucks, and it has like the gyro and everything in it, so it seems like a pretty good package. And then finally taking the radio out, and is there anything underneath this? No, it's just box. So let's put that back in here and put the box to the side. So here we have the FS GT5. It's a pretty nice looking transmitter. It feels very good in the hand. The trigger feels pretty good. The steering also feels pretty decent as well. The steering wheel is on the small side, but it does have a nice foam grip on it. Little caliper, little rotor detail inside that looks pretty cool. And overall, pretty balanced and nice feeling controller. It has holes in the handle as well for a little bit more lightweight feel. And as on top of that, the holes allow your hands to breathe a little bit, so your hands don't get sweaty while you're holding this. So that's also a pretty nice feature. It has a rubber grip back here, as you saw earlier, that can be removed and replaced. And in the front here is a little rubber strip here for a little bit extra feel. We have steering dual rate control adjustment here. Channel 3 toggle button, channel 4 3-position switch, and channel 5 and 6 are dials there. And then of course channel 1 and 2 would be channel 1 here and channel 2 here. So nice 6-channel radio. The antenna flips up like that, and then you can also put it down like that if you don't want it to get in the way. So that's a pretty nice design as well. As for batteries, it only takes 4 AA batteries, or if you see there the red JST connection, you can put a LiPo battery in this JST like 1-cell transmitter pack. So that's pretty nice. For right now, I'll put in some AA batteries. Just some random AA batteries I had lying in one of my transmitters. Put the cover on. The cover also holds pretty nicely and snugly, so that won't be coming off soon. The power switch is back here, so you turn that on. Nice little beep. And the screen is a pretty clear screen. The display up here, that's actually printed onto the screen itself, so that keeps the price down while also giving it a pretty decent and like high resolution look. So that's a pretty cool trick there. One gimmick that this thing has is if you hold the back button and you rotate the style, you can change the color of the LEDs for your liking, and you can also turn it off. And basically, if the transmitter battery is running low, according to the instructions, this will start to blink. I'm gonna personally have it over to the light blue cyan color because that is my favorite color. And to go through all the adjustments, you press the dial, and that will allow you to get into this top section here. And just scrolling through, you can get through all sorts of stuff. We have let's see. We have the model here. So if you press that, you can choose and scroll through a bunch of different models. Looks like you can have up to 20 models saved onto this transmitter. So that's a pretty decent amount of trucks, I think. You can change the name, just scroll through and just change the name there. Steering and throttle reverse, EPA, sub-trims, dual rate, exponential. The ABS feature is not actual like ABS like you think of it in a real car. It's more of like a electronic thing, more like a traction control thing, I think. Some trims, fail-safe, on and off. I'm not sure what the crawl thing is, but that's something I can dig into the instruction manual and find out. And then SVC is kind of their stability management control thing with the gyro. So right now it's defaulted onto off. So a lot of nice controls there. Bind button here. You can also quickly go through steering and throttle trim with these toggle buttons right here. So that's also pretty nice. And yeah, overall, feels very quality, feels pretty good, especially for the low price. Comparing it with some other radios, this is the stock radio that comes in a lot of Red Cat vehicles. A lot of other manufacturers also use this radio. This is essentially an FS GT2 transmitter. Red Cat calls it the RCR2CE. This is the updated version of the the FS GT2. I believe it's the E or the B, something like that. But you can see right here it says 2.4 gigahertz AFHDS signal. That's the signal that Flysky uses with a lot of their radios. So if it says this on it, either on the receiver or on the transmitter, that means it will be compatible with this transmitter here. And you can see the size of it and the overall shape of it is pretty similar, which is nice because you get a nice compact and sleek radio. But having all that extra functionality. As for weight, this is obviously a lot lighter because this is only a 2-channel radio. It's pretty basic, pretty basic controls and adjustments there. So rubber wheel on this one, whereas it's a foam wheel on that one. That's just up to preference, I guess. This one does not have any extra JST connections or anything like that. It doesn't seem like anyway. So pretty decent radio over here, but really nice that they kept that similar shape. But gave it all the extra functionality. Now, the other radio I've been using mostly is this old discontinued Spectrum DX4S radio. I got this used on a Facebook marketplace. It was thrown in for free because the guy was kind of purging all of stuff. And this has been a really nice radio as well. But it is, as you can see, being an older radio, it is much larger and much bulkier. Weight-wise, they weigh about the same, but that's because this one is using a LiPo battery in here. I suspect if I put alkalins in this one will probably weigh a little bit more. As for like the quality feel, the plastics feel about the same quality. This one, of course, though, is only a 4-channel radio, whereas this one is a 6-channel. So a little bit more channel options with that one. So the main reason, though, why I decided to pick up this radio is because, as you saw, Red Cat uses the same brand transmitter. And I own a lot of Red Cat vehicles and I review a lot of Red Cat vehicles. So I decided instead of like throwing away and having to buy new receivers and having a bunch of transmitters laying around, it might be better to just have all of my Red Cat vehicles bound to this transmitter and then have all my Horizon Hobby and other miscellaneous vehicles bound to this transmitter. So that's a main reason I got it. But going over how to bind the transmitter. Here we have a Tamiya lunchbox. Then I have a Red Cat receiver inside. And the binding process is a little bit confusing if you haven't done it before. So let me get this battery over here. Sorry about this. But basically, to bind it, you plug in your battery. You take your bind plug and you plug it in to the port there where it says bind. And you will turn the vehicle on. And if it starts flashing rapidly like that, that means the receiver is ready to be put in bind mode. And then before you turn the transmitter on, you want to hold the bind button and then turn the transmitter on. But I'm going to actually change the model selection so we don't end up overriding something else. So I have it set to model 3, turn the transmitter off, hold the bind button, and then turn the transmitter on. It takes a second to turn on. There we go. So it says bind, it's put on bind mode, and once it's put on bind mode, you'll see over on the receiver side, the blinking has slowed down considerably. That means it is paired. And to get it to complete pairing, you just pull out the jumper here, the bind plug, turn the vehicle off, turn the transmitter off, or in some cases it will get out of bind mode by itself. And then you turn the vehicle back on and you can see it's fully bound and ready to go. For testing, I have actually bound mine already in my Model 2 selection. To this vehicle right here, this is my Red Cat Landslide. It has the stock receiver in it, and I've bound the stock receiver to this new transmitter. And we'll test it out, see how the response is, see how the range is, and test some of the features. I won't be able to test all the features like the gyro, some of the four-wheel steer controls and stuff like that. But for general use, like 2-channel use for a lot of cars, we'll see how it does, and I'll report back to you on what I think. So we're out here in the parking lot. See the radio here? It's very, very easy to use one-handed. And the range is also really good. You can barely even see the truck anymore. And the signal is very good. There's no glitching or any weirdness. The response from everything's really good. Brakes, acceleration, steering. It's all very good. And it seems to perform pretty well. I also really like the feel of it, like I mentioned earlier, but like actually using it, the feel of it's really nice. It feels basically the same as holding the stock radio, which is really nice. Except obviously you have a lot more adjustment and control with this. So so far so good. So overall, I think this transmitter is a very, very good value for all the features it has, for the quality of its build and its function. Definitely worth the $70 I paid for it. Even if you paid $100 for it, I think it's still well worth the money. So if you guys enjoyed this review or found it informative, please give me a like, subscribe, comment down below, all the good YouTube shenanigans, and I will see you guys next time.